Hello, my name is David O'Brien. And I'm here for your success in the areas of purity. Come up and out of depression and anxiety. This message is for teens, or what people call teenagers. In other words, young adults. You've gone through puberty, or you're about to, you are going through. In other words, you're in middle school or high school. And I got some disturbing facts today about the statistics of young people. Now, I'm young, but I'm not as young as you anymore. I'm what's called a teen vet. My name is David O'Brien, and I am the purity doctor, the freedom doctor. I'm here for your success in the areas of purity. And I'm here because I have a mission, and I have words to speak to you that transfer over to you the way I live, which is not just a lifestyle, it's an atmosphere. It's a presence of the Almighty. It is a light. It is wonderful. And I can give it to you through my words if you will calm down and listen to me. So I'm here to speak especially to young people, but I know that this goes all the way up the chain, pretty high up in age. And it reflects changes that have gone on in our society. And I want to tell you that I can pull out the rug from underneath anxiety and depression for you. Because what people don't know, what you don't know, most likely, is that these things can be defeated. They can be beat. And they're smaller than they look and feel. And they also have an origin that's not physical. We're in a spiritual environment on this earth. You may have listened to some scientists who don't know what they're talking about. They only ever measure the physical realm. They don't know the influences of anything else. And they tell you the idea we're alone. And then there's a movie and it says we're not alone all of a sudden. They don't realize the physical part of human beings is not even the real human. It's the outside shape of the human. You are in another realm, but you're using your body to live here. And I want to tell you, cheer up. You can cheer up from this moment on. Your life can go so well. In fact, it'll start going like it's going downhill. You're at the top of the hill, now you're going downhill. That means easy, fun, smooth. That's how life was created to be. We're given tools in life in order to use them, weapons sometimes to sharpen them in order to protect and defend ourselves, in order to carve out a life, in order to enjoy life. While you're in school, in the hallways, in the halls, you can be enjoying life. Now, what you need to do and to understand is, first of all, there are some things in your life that have to burn. Now, a friend of mine, some time ago, I'd been in school with him. He called me up because he knew I helped people from very serious things. Now, he was going through a panic attack a day, one per day, and he had gained a bunch of weight and looked horrible when I saw him. And I don't mean the way people talk about handsome or not handsome. I'm talking about he looked like he'd seen a ghost that day. And his eyes were sunken in and everything else. And he was full of anxiety. And I was able to help him. And I'm going to tell you how I helped him supernaturally in a very quick way. I told him, get all your horror books, your horror movies, bring them to me. Now, how did I know he had those? I know how things work. I know how life works. So he went and he got about 4 or 5 garbage bags full of them. And I'm pulling these out. Horror. What's it say on the title and the picture of the heavy metal and stuff he brought? It has pictures of people being murdered. The name is Megadeth, all this kind of crazy stuff. I don't want to even use those names while talking to you because I'm passing to you good stuff. Things, good or bad, are transferred by words. And so when he brought that stuff to me and another new disciple there, new believer in Jesus, as I'm not just a believer, I'm a spreader of Jesus because he changed my life. He's real. His fingerprints are on me. He touched me. So anyway, I talked to this friend about Jesus again because he already had met Jesus, but he kind of decided to go with all that worldly, the stupidity stuff, murder stuff. And he brought all that death stuff and we burned it with fire. You need to do the same. Some of the occult, that means witchcraft that's hidden. Harry Potter, many of those things, they seem so fascinating and interesting that you get into it, but the problem is it gets into you. And it's like water in a boat. It starts to sink you. And trust me, it is laced and veiled with all kinds of attractiveness, good acting, good stories, good plots, compassion, fun stuff that makes you cry. But you got to understand there are certain things that are actually like traps or ditches, ruts on the path of life. Pornography definitely, or any kind of the sex before marriage. I know parents aren't even talking about this anymore. And I can't necessarily get into it that much in this particular program, except to say, push that stuff off of you. Some guys when I was a kid, they used to say, everybody's doing it. Now they don't even say that because everyone assumes everyone is doing it. At that time, not everybody was doing that. But now, because of Hollywood and the erosion of society over time, it's a slow erosion of awareness, mentality, morals, things like that. And it caused people to just devolve, and what's happened is anxiety and depression has gone up because that act, which is sexuality, sexual, is reserved and preserved to be within marriage. When it's in its proper place, it is amazing. Now, some of you have never even heard that. And you know what? I'm here to fix the problem because I know about it. I know it. I'm old enough to where I had 1 foot in the generation that knew that, 1 foot in the generation that lost that. And I'm here to share with you that that is the right and normal way. That's the way that preserves your sanity even. It preserves your mind. It lets you be calm because you're not giving yourself away physically. Sex is not just physical. Instead, you have good boundaries around you. Boundaries that keep bullies away. They keep users away. Because if a man is deceived in that area, and he's the one usually that's an initiator, then he's going to be going after you persistent, but that's all he wants in that kind of polluted environment, society that sometimes we live in today. So cut them. And if someone's not willing to be your friend, but only your boyfriend, I'm talking to the women now. If someone is a boy, but not willing to be your friend, but only your boyfriend, let him self-cut. When he knows he can't be your boyfriend, let him self-cut himself out of the picture because that kind of person is demonic, toxic. He's going to bring something into your life that you don't want there. Trust me. All right. We don't have much more time, but I want to share with you that the occult, that is witchcraft, sorcery, divination, all together, fortune telling, Ouija boards, any of that stuff is also a ditch on the path of life you don't want in your life. Stay away from that stuff. You know, there's a lot of constructive things that you as a young person can do that'll build your self-image. It'll build, you do something, take a challenge and build up and see, hey, I can do this. Volunteer work. There even is good school activities, you know. Do things that have a good outcome, that aren't addictive in nature. Sexuality outside of marriage is addictive. It's destructive. But in marriage, it brings two people together who are already in a trust relationship that they've given their whole life into.